This week's John of the Week is with Matt. Actually, you just saw him kind of poke in. He's in the office for the week, and he's gonna actually give us some history, rather, I guess, or a lesson to understand kind of why the industry is doing what it's doing with bikes for the time being. Matt, hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Hi. First of all, it's good to see you. I love having you in the office.
Good to see you.
Dude, likewise. It's a bad time in the cycling industry and a great time to buy a new bike.
Right.
I feel like there's many things to unpack within this article. I think a lot of consumers, a lot of riders, even people in the industry are kind of scratching their head at what's going on and what the next year maybe of bikes may look like, and how to both inform our own decisions as consumers, but then what designers, product managers should or could be planning for in the next year or so. So yeah, I think to kind of start, there's a lot of deals out there. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of talk to me about what are some of the surprising ones that come across your page or in your research?
Yeah. So I think just stepping back, big picture.
Yeah.
The reason there are a lot of bikes on sale.
For sure.
Like not just bikes, like everything's on sale.
Yeah.
So the reason why everything is on sale is there's too much inventory. There's too much stuff sitting in warehouses.
Yep.
And it's just clogging up the channels. Not enough bikes are selling. So what do you do when not enough stuff's selling?
Yeah.
You put it on sale and try and move it. So that's what's going on. There's just too much stuff unsold.
Yeah.
So brands are trying to move it. And that just means stuff goes on sale and there's better prices for you and me. I think a lot of people, when they were shopping during the pandemic, they noticed prices went up. They noticed that, oh, gee, when I go into the shop, there's only high-end bikes here.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of low-end bikes to sell. So I don't think a lot of people have a lot of sympathy for the bike industry right now, that they have too much inventory and they have to put stuff on sale.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, even, the Kona, I mentioned Kona, buy one, get one free on there.
That's wild.
Yeah, you buy a $5,000 bike from Kona, you get one for free. Or
two bikes for almost $8,000 or for $4,000.
Right. So
insane.
It's that's it's like getting two bikes 50% off or whatever.
Yeah.
And then a lot of brands are typically immune to sales and discounting.
Yeah.
Like Kona, or I'm sorry, not Kona, like Yeti, like Transition, like these more boutique brands.
Yeah.
They're on sale, which is crazy. You usually don't see Yetis on sale 20-30% off.
Yeah.
We have that right now. So yeah, that's why I said bad time in the bike industry, great time to buy a new bike. If you happen to be shopping for a new bike, yeah, super good time to buy a new bike. It's just basically the reason for it, like I said, too much stuff, too much inventory. And the reason for that apparently is when the pandemic happened and there was no product available.
Yeah, I remember.
All these brands kind of overshot and said, oh, this buying spree that we're seeing now is going to continue longer than it did. And then all of a sudden it stopped.
Yeah.
And that's why we have too much stuff.
One of the things that I really enjoyed that you referenced in the article was your industry insider.
Yeah. Rick Vosper.
Rick Vass, yes. Yeah. It was like super cool because he and you kind of agree that to a certain extent, because of these sales and because big brands are obviously kind of having to adjust to the market and inflation in general, that it sets the tone then for the secondary market as well, and how that impacts then people like you and me or everybody really trying to sell a bike as well.
I forget, I was talking to a friend and they said, or maybe it was on our Slack, and someone was trying to get rid of a kid's bike or something and said they couldn't find anyone to buy it. And I think if you've got even a fairly recent bike that you're trying to sell or sell the Pro's Closet or sell, on Craigslist or wherever, you're either going to have to wait a long time to sell it, or you're probably not going to get as much as you want for it.
Yeah.
So if you're one of those people who bought a really expensive bike during the pandemic and then are trying to move on to a new bike, it's gonna hurt.
I'm sorry, folks, but this is true. Like, it's not that we're the bearer of bad news, but this is what we do for a living. We kind of analyze and observe and hopefully share with you guys all what's going on. And it feels almost a little wrong for brands to then be bringing out more new product to a certain extent, right?
Yeah, and again, I think this may be, because the pandemic has still screwed everything up.
Yeah.
So, there was, brands constantly have new products in the pipeline.
Totally.
And they, usually roll them out on a fairly, controlled schedule. Well, the pandemic just blocked everything up. So there were all these products that were supposed to be launched in the middle of the pandemic, if there wasn't a pandemic.
Yeah.
And then everything just got screwed.
Just pushed out.
So there's this backlog of new products sitting back there that is starting to, and that plug has been pulled.
Yeah.
So, I've mentioned to a few people, like, I've been doing this like 30-something years.
Totally, yeah.
And there are a few periods of time I can remember where I have been hit with, like, we're launching our new this, here's a new this, new products just rolling into the market, which is crazy when we're also talking about all the stuff that's sitting in warehouses, it just seems doubly bad,
That's what I was going to say. Like, usually business doesn't play two parts of the field, like home and second base. And usually if you're in a downswing, you're not also trying to follow through with new product to upswing things, right?
Yeah, if your company's sitting on a bunch of products in a warehouse trying to sell it, and then you're just loading new products on top of that. It seems weird when we all know, like, sales are down, stuff's not moving, and then here's our new thing that we're not going to sell either, probably.
Maybe this is a wake-up call to kind of slow down a little bit, maybe? Maybe. Don't slow down. I don't know, hedge your bets on that. But I guess the beautiful part that affects us is that bikes are on sale. If you have the disposable income to do that.
Yeah, if you're in a position to buy a new bike, it's a great time to buy a new bike. Almost anything you would ever want, except for like the really, really boutique-y, custom-y.
Totally, yeah.
Like, I don't think Mosaics and number 22s are on sale.
No.
But maybe you could buy the parts groups for those bikes and wheels and stuff for one of those might be on sale. And you could you could piece together a bike a little cheaper. So, it's crazy.
I think the thing that really kind of still sits with me is that in your experience, in your tenure as the person that you are doing what it is that you've been doing, having never seen something like this in your lifetime really throws a red flag even to me, who just for whatever reason, like, it just informs me, like, I should be aware of kind of the things that are going on in the industry and how that affects us as consumers, and what to be mindful of and where to put my dollars and how to spend them.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we all go out there to just ride bikes, and that's what's most important. How much should we care about the business other than that it's there to support our hobby? I'm not a business guy. I don't either. I don't understand a lot of the way things work and why they work.
Totally.
It's at the end of the day, these companies, our company, every company is out there to continue. They just want to continue to exist. And we have a lot of friends, and our own jobs are tied to you buying stuff, essentially. There's a personal reason for us to be interested in it, for sure. We want bike shops to exist. They need to be there to help support the industry. We want race promoters to be out there
creating events,
and they get sponsorship of dollars from these companies. And if those companies pull, it's really.
It's interconnected.
Yeah, it's very interconnected. So it's sort of like when bike sales are down like they are, it's not just, poor Trek, the president of Trek isn't going to be able to buy another house. It's sort of like, well, is that mechanic going to be there for us?
There may be one less event this summer that we'll not get to.
So it's complicated.
Yeah, totally.
It's very not great for almost everyone, except for if you happen to be walking into a shop and want to buy a bike and not spend as much on it.
Well, here's some more optimistic days. Matt, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Guys, if you're in the market for a new bike, look at Matt's article. It's on bicycling.com, obviously.